WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I have the fourth of 5 Viking Series cooperation between Signatory Vintage and Kirsch Import here in Germany. This time it's a Bunnahabhain. 11-year-old, first fill sherry butt, full maturation, cask number 900082, 606 bottles. I have bottle number 420. Look at this wonderful picture here. I think it's going to be Thor, the god, and that was made by Tom Thiele, a graphic artist here in German. So 68.1% ABV. Normally, I only get something like that here from my bourbon, but Scotch can do it too. Now, the question is, should it do it? And I'm not really sure about that. Now, this is as I said, an 11-year-old product. It was distilled on the 17th of March, 2009, and it was bottled on the 16th of December, 2020. I paid €149 for this, euros. At the moment, Whiskybase is going from anywhere between 215, 250, and there are also 2 idiots, I'm going to call them idiots online, that are offering this for 800 euros. Why? Well, this hit the market, 606 bottles, and the set was sold out within hours. Why? Well, one, because of Kirsch Import. They have a big fan community over here. Second of all, because it's cask strength, and third of all, it's this artwork. So many people like to have these series, many people like to keep these series, and yeah, maybe even sell them at a later point for a higher profit, which I don't think is going to happen. All right, Whiskybase number 183777. At the moment, 15 people voted on this. It's interesting, 160 people have it in their base, and only 15 people have given a rating anywhere between 76 and 87, basically. And not a single person has written a review about that, which is the first time this has happened to me. So this is one of the bottles they bought. Many people did not open it. I did, and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to compare it to something. I have something from Signatory Vintage, and it's called a Glenlivet. It's from 2006. It's 14 years old and a 61.7%. Now, my question of the day is going to be, what single malt scotch can you recommend over 60% ABV? For the people in America, it's 120 proof. I do not like using proof that much because I'm over here in Europe, just like we use metrics. We normally don't use proof anymore either. It's an old imperial measurement system, but hey, whatever floats your boat. So now, the real question for me is at this moment was, when I opened the bottle, is this going to be a peated or a non-peated whiskey? I personally think, and this is my personal opinion, the island of Mull, we have a distillery which is Tobermory, but they make a Tobermory which is unpeated, and they make a Legic, so that's how I'm going to pronounce it, Legic, which is peated. I love having 2 brands so I can differentiate between, is it going to be peated or not? I looked online at all the different shops, at all the different reviews, couldn't find hardly any, and no one mentioned anything about this being peated, or no one mentioned anything about this not being peated. The only things I found were the official press release, basically strong, herbal, and fruity. Those are the 3 words I got, but I've had strong, herbal, fruited, peated whiskeys before. So my question of the day, second one, after going over what is the best 60% proof plus single malt scotch you've had, is should it be actually a requirement is too strong? Would you think that distilleries should conform to my suggestion to have a peated and unpeated brand name so that people like me that do not prefer peat actually immediately know what's going on, or at least put the word peat someplace in the label so that we can be informed of that? One of my best examples is the Benriach 21. The old version up until 2020 was not peated. The new version after 2021 with Brown-Forman is peated. Imagine you had had the Benriach, you bought a bottle every year and every year and every year. You loved it, you loved it, you loved it, and suddenly you buy the next one and it's totally different. Without any warning, without any real press releases, and so on. So I think peat is one of the decisive categories of single malt Scotch whiskey. Is it peated? Is it not? So first of all, you have it single malt or is it blended? Then is it peated or not? And then we can talk about other factors. Is it sherry? Is it bourbon? And so on and so on. So I definitely think that some of these distilleries that produce both should actually have a brand name or a indicator of some kind on their label that should mention the word peat on there. So my personal opinion, do you agree or disagree? So first of all, you do notice the color here. Darker, lighter. 11 years, 14 years. First fill sherry, first fill sherry. What's the difference? Well, there are many possibilities. This is only 61.7. This is 68.1. Maybe it has something to do with the strength of the alcohol. And both of these are cask strength. So no water was added to dilute it. Angel share made a difference. This was probably put in the cask maybe at 63.5. I'm going to guess 68%. This was probably put in the cask more around 72 or 73%. And so they took out different things from the wood. They have water soluble and alcohol soluble substances in the cask, and they take out different things. That's the one thing. The second thing is it could be different oak. This could be more of an American oak. This could be more of a European oak. European oak, more tannins, more color. And the last thing it could be would be different sherry types. It's just both of these say first fill sherry butts. This says first fill sherry butt, cask number 900998, and this says 900082. So there's no guarantee that between these almost 900 different casks that they had there, that they're using exactly the same type of sherry. And that definitely influences the taste. I personally think that often the sherry is more important than actually the distillate that's from the distillery. I'm tasting more of the sherry moment than I am for the alcohol moment from the distillery character. But that's my personal opinion. On the nose, I like. This has a brown sugar, fruity, herbal, earthy leather moment. So it's a little bit of caramel added in there for good measure. Creme brulee, if you like. Now, this is very interesting. This is 68.1%. No problem. All right, so the 11 years might be enough for this whiskey. I am getting a little bit of an alcohol sharpness the longer I sniff, but it's a very nice thing. A lot of bit of prunes in here. Interesting. Over here are Glenlivet. Definitely different. More of a butterscotch moment. More of a cranberry moment. We do notice a difference between, at least I notice the difference between the two different sherry types here used. Now, it might be the distillery character that's trying to peek its head through the thick layer of sherry flavoring. All right. I personally think Glenlivet and First Fill Sherry from Signatory Vintage are almost always amazing. So we don't get it very often, but very, very good. Sherry cask strength Buddha is not something I see every day. It's not something I see hardly ever, to be honest. And therefore, this is somewhat of, I'm going to call it a unicorn, somewhat atypical. So it's good that we have that. I'm going to nip on both of these and put some water and give my personal opinion. Wow, that's wild. Strong. Brutal to the tongue. The 68% is like more a sledgehammer than it is anything else. And then after that alcohol abuse to my tongue dissipates, I get a leathery prune juice, black grape moment. A little bit of astringency. The first question that I thought to myself, is this American oak or is it European oak? It could almost be European oak with all that astringency in there, all that tannin in there. This really doesn't do it for me. This is wild. This is chaotic. This is a little bit sledgehammer. So if I would take a picture, I would not have a double-handed sword. I would take the Tor, the hammer. Yeah, that would just bam go through anything. Yeah. Um, there is potential in the nose, but the palate just doesn't deliver the way I would like. A little bit more destruction than a building up an assembly of masterly creative notes and aromas. Hmm. Wow, that was a hammer. The Glenlivet. Mm-hmm. Mm. Much more harmonious. Yes, a lot of alcohol, too much alcohol, both of these for me. Mm. I get more of that berry, more of that cranberry, a little bit of a rhubarb moment here. Less leather. This is earthy. This is dark. This is a little bit in the middle. A little bit not. It's not bright. It's not citrus. It's in the middle. It's more of an apple. It's more of a cranberry moment type of thing. A little tart as well. All right. Put some water in here. Put a tad bit of water in here. And let's see what happens. So these bottles are no longer available. They were only available in Germany, all 5 of the series of the Vikings. The one I have not done yet is the Koile. I waited to the last for that to hammer my tongue with the citrus Koile peaty moment. I have already done the Pulteney with the battle axe here a little bit. I have done the Coastal Mystery Malt with the Tor hammer, and I have already done the Whitlaw, which is a Highland Bark. So, all right, giving it time to actually mix in the glass here. Cheers. Is it okay? Yes. Is it good? Is it great? Absolutely not. Is it worth 150 euros in my book? No. Is it worth 200? Definitely not. It's worth 800. Kill me now. Um, the leather, the earthiness, the prune, the tannins, the darkness, the dark chocolate, all this is in here. There are people out there that are going to go wild. They're going to love this, especially Buna, especially First Fill Sherry, especially over 68%. This would be exactly up their alley. Is it up my alley? No. This is a wild, chaotic whiskey that just does not do it for me. I think I've actually had a Glenfarclas 105. There's an OH statement. There's the 22-year-old, and in between, was it the 11-year-old? The 11-year-old I loved. I would actually go for the Glenfarclas 105, age stated more than this. And the Glenlivet with a little bit of water, cleanse my palate. I think I like this better, and I'm pretty sure I do. Originally 99 euros, originally 149 euros. Both of these are very beautiful bottles. Nice. More of tobacco, more of a, as I said, cranberry, a little bit of rhubarb in here. I like the Glenlivet with that sherry. Well done, well done. So, first question is, what is your favorite single malt Scotch whiskey over 60%? And second of all, should the distilleries actually, when it's peated, put peated on their labels and just don't use the same name for two things, and it's a guessing game. And if you could name a few different distilleries that are guessing games, please put them on in the chat. That would be helpful for me in the future and maybe other people who watch. Like, subscribe, tell others, share this video if you'd like with other people, and tell other people about this crazy American in Germany tasting a lot of whiskey you might not ever see. Sorry, rare and exotic. All the best. See you soon. Whiskey Jason. Bye-bye.